All right, guys. Welcome back to another show of Catching Feelings. I'm out here catching up with my boy Muzi.
What up, Salute,
How's it, man?
Yeah, man.
It's been a minute, man. It's been a while. I think like a fun fact for people watching here, like we've known each other for like yeses
Crazy years.
since primary.
Crazy years.
Yeah, it's been forever, you know. So I'm glad that you're out here, man. And maybe just introduce yourself to the people, man.
I'm Muzi Jamini. I work in the creative space as a stand-up comedian. I work as comedy writer. I work as a script writer. I work as a director.
Oh,
That's me professionally. As a human, simple guy, father,
yeah.
yeah, loner in a good way. But yeah.
I think it's funny you should say that because like we're both creatives, obviously, like in different spaces. But I think as a creative, being alone, it just kind of makes sense.
It does.
Yeah.
And people don't get it. People see you doing your alone thing, think
Yeah.
you're lonely.
Yes.
And it's not the same thing. There's
Right.
a difference between being a loner and being lonely. Being lonely is something, that's afflicted on you.
Yeah.
Being alone is something afflicted on yourself to
No,
allow your process to happen.
I definitely agree with that statement
Yeah.
because like they never understand the difference between liking your own space and being an introvert. And just because like that's where the ideas come.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
If you don't have enough time,
Mm.
if we don't understand this about creatives, because they see us when our output of work comes out,
Yeah.
maybe you got these big ideas,
Yeah.
all this creative stuff comes out. They're like, but you're always alone. I'm like, that's why I can't do that if I'm always around people,
Yeah.
and I'm not secure enough in my own solitude. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So like that's the cool thing about being a creative. So like in a slight pivot, you have to also be with someone who romantically be with someone who understands that.
That is true, man. And I think okay, before we jump into that, maybe like just give the people maybe like your like what you've done. So you just kind of put yourself out there, brag a young a little bit,
Yo,
let people know your work. Maybe some people have seen it. Maybe some people will be like, oh shit, Muzi did that.
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
I'll start from stand-up point of view.
Yeah.
I've done Blacks Only.
Okay.
I've done Makufa Comedy Festival. I've done.
Which year of Blacks Only did you do, or did you do?
I've done quite a few. I've done about 6
Okay.
Blacks Onlys. I think the last one I did was just before lockdown.
Okay.
But since then, I've been trying to be a little bit more independent now.
Okay.
So, but I'll always thank David for what he's done for me in that space.
Yeah.
Television, I've done quite a bit. Let me just put my ducks in order. I
Yeah.
started working with Lois Okola on the late night LNN. We got Emmy nominated twice for that show. Which
Nice.
was dope. Moved on to a show called The Mayor. It was a sitcom, but only lasted a single season. I think it was weirdly avant-garde and stuff like that. People didn't get that.
Yeah.
Went on to Bantu Hour, which is sketch comedy, which is like very, very at home. Pure monati kind of comedy.
Yeah.
It's always been my forte. Quite a few things. Like I can go on for a bit. I've written, I think 12 made for TV movies. You know, like those movies you see during the daytime.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've written about 12 of those. They're great practice just to keep yourself warm.
Yeah.
I wrote on a little show called Queen Sono on Netflix.
Nice.
I've written.
That was a great show, by the way.
I love that show.
Yeah,
I wish we could have been able to do more of that.
Yeah. I mean, like they denied you guys like a season 2 there, man.
They gave it and they took it away.
Oh yeah. Actually, I remember
we were
that.
given the season 2.
Yeah.
Then when the cost came in, they were like, we can make other content that's less, because it's this big ambitious show that goes through Africa and explosions and all these things.
Makes sense.
And they were like, guys, it's a nice show, but it's expensive. And it's still the second highest grossing South African show on Netflix till now. So yeah,
Crazy.
So yeah, I've done quite a few things in the creative space. In comedy writing, I've written for other people as well. I've written 3 Comedy Central roasts. So yeah, those mean shows that you watch, I'm one of the people behind writing those.
Oh, nice.
I write also like from a corporate point of view. So like sometimes you get brought in to help spruce up the CEO's end of year speech, so it's a bit funnier and punchier. I do that. I've written for politicians. I've written for the president. I've written for quite a few things. I've done quite a few. Me and my pen have been around.
Damn, man.
Yeah, and directing I've directed on a couple of small shows.
Yeah.
But now this year I'm directing my first full-on feature. I've directed made for TV films too. This year I'm directing my full-on feature, which is exciting, scary, but good scary. You know
that's
what I mean?
good.
Yeah.
No, that's good, man. Because obviously, I mean, like, I just want you just to kind of put your work out there, you know, just so people who know exactly the work you've done and the things you've been involved in there. But now going back to what you're saying earlier on, because obviously this is a podcast on kind of relationship dynamics, and you mentioned something that was quite interesting about picking the right person that will understand the kind of person you are. So would you say was that an easy thing to do in your space? Like, were you able to kind of get to that?
No.
What were the challenging aspects of it?
You know, like as a creative, you need to be okay with the idea that you're a little bit. Someone said this, like, all creatives really are a bit autistic.
Yeah.
You know, to be a true creatives, there's an autism about you, and it doesn't click well with non-autistic people.
Okay.
You're right. So people who don't have the same,
like the normal people,
the normal,
quote unquote.
Yeah, the normal people. So, and I'm not saying it's impossible because I've seen it happen countless times, but you know, like when, for example, we spoke about the need for solitude. When you're with a partner who doesn't understand that, whose love language maybe is, you know, that constant attention,
the quality time,
and the constant intimacy and reassurance, all the stuff. Yeah, it's difficult. I find it difficult even living with other people.
Damn.
You know what I mean? So a partner for me has to be with someone who understands the dynamic of which, like, you can't be in my space all the time. I don't live with my partners.
Oh, okay.
I live alone.
So you've never lived with a partner before?
I have for about, I tried it out. It didn't work.
For how long?
For a year and a half.
A year and a half? That's a long time, man.
It was just tough, but I still had my space at home, as in where I grew up.
Yeah.
So that was a cool buffer for me because, like, as much as I could spend most days with her, there were those days where I'm like, I need to go home for 4 days.
Yeah.
I'll see you. I'll talk to you every night and everything, but I can't be here all the time because there's things I need to do.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. You know, I used to struggle. I guess it's an on and off thing with me as a creative as well, because I struggle because I'm a good conversationalist, right? And I think usually when I talk with girls or with a woman, with whoever I'm dating or whoever I'm trying to get to know, because of how well I'm able to have a good conversation with them, then they latch onto that. And then whenever I'm quiet and I'm in my own space, then they get worried. It's like, why are you quiet? Like, what's going on?
Is everything okay in our relationship right now?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, it's not about that. It's literally me wanting to have this moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, it's true.
Because, like, the weirdest thing people think I do is I travel alone, whether I'm in a relationship or not.
Okay.
I travel alone.
Okay.
So, and it's something I always tell people to do. Like, and maybe it's a creative thing that people should do.
Where's the furthest you've gone when you say you've traveled? Like, where's the furthest you've traveled alone?
I traveled alone. Let me see. Sierra Leone.
Oh, shit. Another country. I don't think you're going to be like, no, Durban, Cape Town.
I've done Cape Town quite a few times.
Sierra Leone. Shit.
It was fun alone, locally. The Cape Town drive. We're going to drive.
You drove to Cape Town?
Yeah, that was amazing.
Like, I dread driving to Limpopo. I can only imagine driving to Cape Town, bro.
It's, if you're in a car that you're comfortable in with the right kind of music, the right kind of everything, and you're just enjoying.
One man.
Yes.
How many Ks is it like to Cape Town?
13,000.
Is it 1,000?
13,000.
13,000.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. It's
man,
a lot. It's got to drive. It's 18 hours.
Yeah, so you better have a good car first of all.
The car needs to be good, reliable car, comfortable car with aircon.
Yeah.
Then you need to have tons of music that you just want to vibe to. Then you have to be comfortable with your own company.
Yeah.
Then also, this is also important, take a lot of stops. Okay. Stop somewhere and eat a thing. Stop somewhere and see a thing. Stop somewhere and experience a thing.
I mean, like sightseeing a bit.
Yeah. It's the journey is part of the vacation.
Yeah.
So don't just be on the road trying to get there. That's gonna frustrate you. When you think about that long drive to Limpopo. So you're thinking about that, right?
Yeah.
So now imagine the same drive to Limpopo if you take the N1, you're on your way out, then you stop at Bella Bella, for example.
Yeah.
Then you stretch your legs at the Bella Bella, you talk to people, you eat something in Bella Bella.
Yeah.
Then after maybe an hour you go to Modemole and
Yeah.
by the time you get to where you need to get to,
Yeah.
it's a more pleasurable experience, especially if you're not in a rush to get somewhere.
Okay,
you're just
makes
getting
sense.
somewhere.
Yeah.
So those on your own are cool. I'm not saying they're not cool with a partner. I'm just saying on your own, it's a different experience that I think people should do. Traveling in a different country on your own has its own. There's a cool solitude about it.
So like with the whole traveling alone, the whole like getting to new places, being a person would you say you're an introvert or an extrovert person?
I'm both.
All right, cool. So in that same token, then does it mean that you're able to kind of engage with people naturally, like in a?
I don't have a tough time engaging with people.
Okay.
At all. It's what I struggle with is prolonged engagement with people when that part of me doesn't want to be engaged anymore.
Yeah.
But engaging with people, being friendly with people, is something, it comes naturally to me.
Okay.
And I'm the kind of person that people gravitate to.
Yeah.
So even though I do keep a small friend space, a friend circle, I do have those people that gravitate towards me and that I gravitate to, and But I'm both. I have to say, shit, both parts of me.
Oh,
I have a very extroverted side.
Oh, I see.
Then I have a very introverted side.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it makes sense. I can totally identify with that as well.
With that,
yeah. And then okay, so like you're in a relationship country.
Currently.
Yes.
Don't laugh. I'm in a good arrangement.
An arrangement. Oh my
arrangement.
gosh. Like, what does that even look like? I mean, people will call situationships an arrangement. People will call friends with benefits an arrangement. So like, how does that? What kind of category does that fall under?
Oh, okay. Can you please pause? Sorry.
Okay, cool.
I won't call it a situation. It's an arrangement.
Okay.
We understand each other. There's a real understanding to it. We live in separate spaces. We see each other when it's convenient for both. It's not the constant, like in a traditional relationship, there's a constant engagement.
Yeah.
Well, that's not really constant. You can go days without even talking, and it's fine. There's no jealousy. If she wants to talk to be with other people, it's fine. Similarly with me, but there is a real connection there. There's real caring there. So it's not a wham bam, thank you, ma'am. So it's complicated, but it's not.
Yeah, no, it's heavily complicated, and like obviously, like how did you guys even get to that kind of arrangement? Because I'm assuming that's not how it started. I mean,
it started off as boy likes girl.
Okay.
Boy sees girl.
I feel like your storyteller side is coming out now. Like you putting together a pitch
it's a
for
picture.
Netflix. Like, listen, this is how I'm seeing it. Boy likes girl. Okay.
So she used to come a lot to some of the shows I used to do in Mill Park.
Okay.
So she lives in those sides, and she's come a lot to those shows. I saw her.
Mm-hmm.
I think about the third time I saw her, I was like, I think this girl's cute, man. I think I want to,
The third time?
The third time she came.
Okay.
So I'm like, like starting to pay better attention to the person.
Oh, yeah, third time's a charm, man.
Yeah, then I got her numbers. We organized to meet for pizza, like a normal, as things went.
How long was this, by the way?
About a year ago.
Okay, about a year ago. So we're talking about 2022 or 2023?
2023 early.
Okay.
So as things kept on progressing, which was the idea that we just enjoy spending time around each other. We enjoy talking, and from time to time, being engaged sexually.
Oh yeah, intimate.
Being intimate. So, but we both noticed that we're similar in the way that she works a lot. She travels a lot with work. I disappear into my work a lot, and we agreed it makes more sense to keep it at a certain place and not complicate it further than that. And we're like, yeah, it makes sense. So we just really talked about it. So And we're always open to the idea that if someone feels they want to progress something, they always open to do that. So if
Oh, you mean like with somebody else?
or with me, if you feel like, okay, I've developed more, how do you feel about the next step? And we can baby step each other to the next, where what's not happening though is the idea that, like have you ever like watched Papa and found yourself in a relationship full blown?
It happens. Yes.
Exactly. So
it happens.
I think we're trying to make sure neither of us have that neither of us have, it's, and people are like, oh, you guys are doing it so slowly. You guys, I'm like, yo, we happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh, man. How old is she? If you don't mind me asking, maybe just
she's 30.
30. Okay, cool. Yeah. Like, this is what I'm asking because obviously, the whole thing about age when it comes to women. Like, they start looking at the clocks, like, yo, am I married by this age? Do I have a family by this age?
There's a sadness to it, you know what I mean? The idea that there's this double standard in dating, you know what I mean? And a lot of it is self-imposed from women to women. Mm-hmm. A lot of it is imposed by, a society that's always been, probably always will be man first.
Yeah.
So that's, so you meet these great women who there's nothing wrong with them, but they took time that we took to figure out themselves. They took time that we took to figure out their careers. But all of a sudden they wasting time. You know what I mean? So like you meet someone who's cool, but you're missing out on this nuances of her character because she's in this rush for marriage by a certain age, or she's, or they have kids, or, and I understand the kid part is very biological. It's not something she can control, but sometimes it would be nice to just slow things down and just take our time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's no complication.
So then for you, like, what is your ideal partner on paper? Like, have you ever sat down to kind of maybe design your ideal woman?
Superficially, I do like good-looking people.
Yeah, don't we all?
Be pretty, you know what I mean? Like well-kept, someone who has some sort of. I'm not a gym bunny, but someone who's got some sort of, schedule as well. Who just, go on a hike from time to time.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Who's active, basically.
Some activity.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily, a red flag, but it's one of those things that I look at. Someone's got their own life outside of me.
Oh, I see.
It's very important. You've got your own friendship circle outside of me. You've got your own professional life outside of me. Your family life, meaning with your siblings and everything, is healthy outside of me. That's ideal for me because I've worked on those things on my own.
Oh shit!
So when we meet, it should be healthy plus healthy.
Okay.
It is very difficult dating someone who's got that baggage. And those are ideal things. I know Gucci, not all of us have those things.
Yeah.
But it's hard dating someone with that kind of weird baggage. Like, I hate everyone in my family. Like, oh, God.
Oh, yeah. That's crazy, right?
I have zero friends.
Especially like when you have a good, you have a good relationship with your family, and then they're struggling with theirs, or it's like, it's bad, and it's difficult to connect with somebody like that, even like no matter how well you're attracted to them.
If anything, I think the most important thing I might say in this podcast is people don't understand that the dynamics that you go through with your family are your testing ground for how you're going to be dealing with someone else.
Okay.
Or everyone else in the world. If you don't have the wherewithal to understand, to say sorry to your siblings when you're wrong, the wherewithal to understand this is too far to speak with my father and my mother, the wherewithal to go to your child or the younger people in your family and show humility even though you're older, you don't have you're missing the tools to go forward with another child. When your mom.
That's true.
Like where you get the tools? You understand? Because that's those tools you build at home.
Yeah.
And I realized at some age that, my relationship with my sister is not automatic. Work had to go into it.
Yeah.
Real work had to go into me and my older sister being cool. and being where we are today, we both had to work and meet each other somewhere and understand each other at some point.
Yeah.
Me and my older brother call each other on video call probably 3-4 times a week.
A week. Okay, cool.
And that's how, those are the tools that I've gathered from my family. And I know that I can take those tools out. And now when I'm meeting with someone else, then it makes sense. So imagine someone who has done zero of that work.
Yeah.
In their own family, in their own friendships, and they come to you. They're not meeting you anyway.
Yeah.
You know when someone, that cliche that what you bring to the table.
It's all over, man. It's all over social media, bro.
Like when someone says what you bring to the table, and I'd be more impressed if someone says, I am bringing a healthy mindset.
Yeah.
I am bringing the kind of work ethic that we can bring together and build something.
Yeah.
Those are things those are worth bringing to the table. When someone says I'm bringing a BMW in a house, I'm like, get that off the table. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, we don't need that. Yeah.
We don't need that. So bring to the table some yourself as a complete human being who's worked on themselves. So yeah, ideally that kind of woman, like that's for me. That's ideal. Like, I seek that out.
Yeah. Okay. No, because that's interesting. So when you say you seek it out, so basically it's when you're interested in someone, you need to make sure that now you start diving deeper into their background in terms of
in the conversations, you pick it up.
Yeah.
So like, firstly, a mistake guys make.
Yeah.
You meet a nice girl.
Yeah.
And you're on 1,000 kilometers to getting onto girlfriend land, and which is wrong. Like on
both parties, or is it
both parties?
Okay, cool.
Guys see this hot girl and be like, "Oh yeah." And like you're like 1,000 kilometers down, and you just, I'm like, no, take your time. Take your time.
Yeah. I think quickly, maybe just to jump in there. Do you think that rushing of getting to girlfriend status is because of the guy's lack himself? Unlike a guy who's got an abundance, who's good with women, who like finding a girl, it's not really an uphill battle.
Those things, I think you'd understand too, are mental.
Okay.
The abundance attitude is a mental attitude. Right? The world is abundant. There's a lot. There's a lot of women out there. There's a surplus of women out there. And there's a lot of good men out there for women to they need to understand this. However, when you enter anything without the abundance mentality, without understanding that my cup runneth over, you then grab at the first thing and make critical mistakes and find yourself in situations that are not healthy. You understand? So if you don't have an abundance mentality and you approach the actual woman you want, you fumble it.
So as a man, how do you practically do that? Because it's easy to say like abundance, like you need to have abundance, but then as a man, how do you practically get to that abundance level? Because yes, it is a mindset thing, but usually it needs to be reinforced by some sort of action of sorts,
like
and I give an example quickly, just quickly. So the reason I'm asking this is because I remember like watching this TikTok or it was a podcast or whatever. There was this guy who was saying that as a man, as you get older or as you start experiencing the world, you need to get with as many girls as you can, make money or try to understand how money works. And the reason why, because a lot of people would hear that like get with a lot of girls. Why is that? Because he was saying that because you need to find yourself where you need to understand how women nature is. And the only way to understand it is to deal with a lot of women as you kind of getting old, and you're also kind of making your mark in the world. Because at some point what happens is that a lot of guys, they don't get enough experience with women to a point where now when they start dating, they grab at the first girl who gives them attention. Then they want to wife them, they want to make them a serious girl, but that girl has not earned that title yet. But because you don't have enough experience with women, it's difficult for you to kind of see like the nuances of how women act, how sometimes you may think they really like you, but maybe they're just benefiting something from you. Like you're not able to see those things because you don't have enough experience with women.
Experience with women does not have to be. And this is where I'm going to disagree with the guy from.
Okay.
And I'm going to disagree with him sharply.
Yeah.
experience with women is not necessarily always sexual.
Okay.
Experience with women is not always romantic.
Okay.
I can guarantee you, without sight unseen, that guy does not have a lot of female friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't get guys who like, I can't be a friend with a woman. I'm gonna probably sleep with her.
Yeah.
No, like, do you know how many people are out there in the world?
Mm.
You can make a good connection with a woman and not try to get in her pants.
Find it attractive and all that jazz. Yeah.
Yes, like,
Okay.
and you can have multiple of those instances in your life. It doesn't make you simp. This makes you you're just comfortable within yourself and understand the abundance of the world, that you don't have to mess up the few instances you have with women that are just beautiful and uncomplicated.
Yeah.
I have great friendships with women, and how they benefit me, those friendships, and how I benefit them, is they give me a very rich understanding into women.
Okay.
Understand? I've been, as literally less than 10 days ago, I was at a hike with 5 women. I was the only guy there, right? Which is interesting. One of my friends' birthdays, right? And like, you know, like, I'm there, and at some point I'm like a fly on the wall listening. I'm like, this is very interesting, because they forget.
Yeah, they forget their surroundings. They just kind of get into it.
They get into it and they talk, and you're like, oh, this is interesting, and like, they speak about their frustrations with the dating world. They speak about, and you're like, oh, girls sometimes just want to have fun too. You know, like, if you don't have those kind of experiences as a man, you're going to always understand women as something you can take from.
Okay.
You'll not train yourself. That's something you give. You understand? And you understand your roles, really. Because you've typecasted yourself as a man who only wants something from women, as this Casanova character. You're cornering yourself as far as your experiences are with women.
Okay.
Which is unhealthy. You understand? Now, imagine, now, on the other hand, picture this guy. He's self-assured. He has 4 friends that are women that he sees from time to time. Not that he doesn't have a healthy male circle as well.
Okay.
You know, he gets women. He understands women. He's empathetic to women. He knows how to be caring. He knows how to not overperform. He knows, because he's had the scope. That man now goes into a relationship with another woman. He's not going in there with unrealistic expectations.
Okay.
He's not going in there with trying to prove himself with something he doesn't have to prove. He's not tap dancing. He's not simping. He's not, all because simple one thing he did right is say, yo, I've got this homegirl. Understand? And people always say this, because you friends, it means like if something were to happen, always acknowledge, that's a full-blown woman.
Yeah.
Hot-blooded woman. You're a hot-blooded man.
Yeah.
The trick here is to not put yourselves in the situation where that thing could happen.
Okay.
I've seen those videos of people like, yeah, call a girl, will be like, yeah, I've got a homie who's a guy.
Oh yeah, where they say you must call that friend and
say,
what if like you wanted to give it up to them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a man.
Yeah.
You're not proving the fact that they don't have a real friendship.
Okay.
You're proving the fact that the guy is horny. You know what I mean?
That is a man. Okay.
Yeah, that is a man. That's all you're proving. But those girls usually are right when they say, yo, I've been friends with this person since high school, we're just friends and nothing's happened. And yes, put in an awkward situation, something could happen. You are both adults. Don't put yourself there.
Yeah.
Oh, we're friends. I can change in front of him. Don't change in front of him.
But you know, but that being said as well, because obviously with like going along like your example as well, I mean there's this whole notion of that. Okay, cool. Women benefit a lot from being friends with guys, but then as a guy, what do you benefit from a woman? Because in most cases, they say that obviously it's difficult for a woman to understand your struggle as a man, because obviously, especially in the world we live in now, it's just a different experience on both ends, you know. But for a woman, she literally has a place-up boyfriend without actually having to be physical with them, because as a man, I mean, you're there to listen to her, you're there to comfort her, you're there to, if whatever reason your friend is feeling scared and she's somewhere, she can call you and you can come through and help her as a man, right? As her friend, you know what I mean? So she's benefiting that as well, as almost like how a boyfriend would react if something was happening the same. If you guys are going together as friends and somebody smacks her ass, you be there to defend her as a boyfriend would. So now that's a benefit. But as a friend, she gets all the benefits of a boyfriend, but not necessarily, but she doesn't have to be intimate with you. You know what I mean? But
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I hear where you're going with
Yeah.
this. I hear where you're going with this one. Interesting take.
Yeah.
And here's me.
Okay.
A lot of the things that she's benefiting from you, you're benefiting too.
How so?
Here's the thing about guys. Guys, all human beings are physical human beings.
Mm-hmm.
We need touch.
Yeah.
We need vulnerability. We need all those things. And the tragedy of being a man for the longest time is we are deprived of that from a young age. Your last proper, your hugs turn into handshakes. Okay.
Yeah.
So here it is. As men, the tragedy of being a man is the fact that we are deprived of human contact. And it's something important. Have you ever seen any kind of ape in nature?
An ape?
Any kind of ape.
Okay.
Orangutans are always seen in groups.
Yeah.
In close contact. Gorillas.
Yeah.
Chimpanzees. Whatever. Those are our closest relatives in the animal world.
Yeah.
And look at us.
Yeah.
We are deprived of that at an early age. We don't have a boy's handshakes. Hugs turn to handshakes around 11, 12. Right? And we've normalized that to us. And it's terrible. What I'm trying to allude at is there are very few safe spaces for a man to have any form of vulnerability and intellectual intimacy.
Okay.
You understand? There are very few of those outlets for a man.
Yeah.
If I don't see it as a small thing if you've got a woman who gives you the space to have that intellectual intimacy, to be vulnerable in your conversations, to be vulnerable even when talking about someone else.
Okay.
And have a nice, and that's something you're getting from her. She's getting something similar from you, but you're getting from her. And you're getting it way better because what you're getting is way better than what she's getting because in her relationship with her friends, she can be vulnerable.
So wait a minute. So you're getting more than she's getting from you?
Way more.
Okay, so she's getting more. You getting?
You can't do all those cool things that you give a platonic female friend.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to show you that some of the things that a platonic female friend can give you is crazy rich.
Okay.
You understand? Yes, there is that whole idea that you can't take the platonic friendship too far, and you end up not giving space for your actual partner. You have to respect the other person's partner, especially when they find themselves in a relationship and you're not.
Yeah.
Take the 3 steps back.
I think like those are the most difficult ones. Huh?
It's maturity. Take the 3 steps back and talk to her in a good way. That nothing wrong with her taking a step back when you find yourself in a relationship. One of my longest relationships with a woman named Zoe, my closest friend. Currently in a very good, very healthy relationship.
Yeah.
But before she got into the relationship, when I moved this side of the world, the first person to come here with a bucket of paint was Zoe.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We painted this house together. And we've been like that with each other since probably our early to mid-teens.
Yeah.
And we're still like that right now. But we also understand that there's the boundaries change as soon as someone gets into a relationship.
Yeah.
Right? I need to understand that I can't call Zoe to jog with me at 5 a.m. anymore. I can't call it at 10 with Wenzani.
Yeah.
No muntu wami. You understand? And she understands that similarly when I'm in a relationship. So maturity comes with reading the room and acting accordingly.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting, man.
That's all.
So, because obviously, so now would you say, is that a common thing? Or is that, okay, now what you just said now, is that a thing of ideally, this is how things are supposed to be, or is that how they are? Because
it's ideal.
It's an ideal.
An ideal, and you work towards it. I've seen tragically a lot of platonic relationships falling under the pressure of them getting physical with each other. Yeah. So I was saying it is the most ideal situation.
Yeah.
Is what I was describing. However, I have seen a lot of promising platonic friendships fail because the two people have succumbed to lust or succumbed to loneliness, and it's not necessary.
Yeah.
Just don't do it. Just don't do it. A lot of them fail on those bases after a couple of years or after a while, and approach them. And I will say, because us guys, or actually honest, we the people who are most dishonest here. Approach them earnestly.
Okay, I mean, like the guys approach the girls, or the girls approach the guys.
Approach the friendship earnestly.
Oh, okay.
Don't be in a place where you're biding your time. One of these good days, just give me a chance.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I think it's not a conscious thing, though.
That's not what I'm talking about at all.
Yeah.
Those situations exist, and I'm not talking about those situations.
Yeah, okay.
I'm talking about a situation where both people genuinely understand each other as friends.
Yeah, no, of course. I think like there are those friendships where it's like, it's like it just works better as that. And I think like women, because women are so intuitive and whatever, they're the ones who are able to be like, I know, I don't want to risk it and whatever. But in most cases, because girls always say that, no, I mean, I don't want to destroy our friendship, so they don't even want to entertain the idea of you guys crossing the line.
They shouldn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And also, it shouldn't be up to her to be that custodian, to be that protector of the friendship all the time. You should do it too. You should have the wherewithal to say, this is an important friendship to me. I don't want to mess it up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no,
this is a place where I can be vulnerable. This is a place where I can be free. I can be a side of me that's difficult to be in society, because in the workspace I'm supposed to be this leader and this manly man, and at gym I'm this, I don't like guys, I'm this, I have to fight, and how about a place where you don't have to?
No, that's true. No, man, you know what? I think because obviously like, it's a good conversation, and I'm hoping the people can pick up whatever sides we're coming from, and they'll be able to make their own opinions on it. But maybe like, and just maybe like wrapping it up, like how would you kind of advise or maybe describe just how the dating market is now? Because like you're in a relationship right now, or whatever situation you have, but then like maybe just in terms of for guys who are just struggling in finding a partner, especially for creatives, because we can identify as creatives. So as a creative person, how do you think a person who's an introvert, who's hardly out there, like how can they move in the world where things are moving so quickly, social media is doing its thing, there's a lot of dating apps, technology is just kind of booming as well, and maybe like whatever angle you want to take it, just in terms of like wrapping it up and say, guys, I think you should move like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to speak to a guy maybe who's struggling.
Okay.
Right? Directly. Okay, fine. First and foremost, my uncle always used to say, "Vuga vugas," right? Get up, look good all the time, and before you go into the wanting a relationship, there's so many things you need to make sure you need to check with yourself. Make sure you're good with yourself. Wake up early. You know what I mean? Make sure you clean. Work out. You know what I mean? Make sure from a work point of view everything is healthy. Put yourself out in the window as a good looking thing that if she walks by, she'll be like, I want that.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We are males.
Yeah.
And males in any species, look at nature. Peacock. They show themselves. So in our society, men peacock by look how good looking I am, look how fit I am, look how much money I have. Look, that's how we peacock. So look for what's good, what the good things you have, accentuate them. What's that gonna do for you? It's not gonna make women rush to you, but it's gonna make you as well when you now start moving in the dating spaces to value yourself better. You feel me? You're not going to. It's not going to be the situation that the first person who winks at you is like your wife. You've got value. You know what I mean, dude? If you wake up if you keep a good diet and you wake up at 5 in the morning, whenever you wake up, and you go on a bit of a run, and you go to the gym, and you lift a little bit, and you've got this career that makes sense, and you've got these cool friendships and everything in place, and you've got this good life. When someone comes into it, their presence doesn't disrupt everything. They have to add to your thing.
Yeah, they're complemented, yeah.
So if you're struggling, first and foremost, give yourself the time, however long it needs. It could be a few months, it could be closer to a year, even if you're not in a rush. Better yourself. Go to gym. Join a boot camp. Do something. Go to those fight clubs. Whatever works for you. Play soccer with the Giants at Discovery. Whatever really works for you.
Yeah.
Right? But what it's going to do is it's going to, by the time that person finds you, you find that person, they're going to find a person who's more whole. Though I'd hate to give you pickup artist advice that could get you laid, but there's no real substance to what you're going to end up with.
Yeah.
So I'd rather say to you, this is how you enter a relationship that is healthy, in a healthy way with someone, and because you've done all this work on yourself, you're going to automatically be looking for someone who's done similar kinds of work on themselves.
Oh, okay. So basically, like, you attract who you are.
You absolutely attract who you are. So do those things for yourselves, and I can assure you, from my own experience, because I won't say that I've always had it easy with women. I have not always had it easy.
Yeah, of course. None of us have.
I've had tough times.
Yeah.
And when I was having the toughest of times, what I did do, and what is the best advice I did get from someone, because I was getting out of a relationship.
Okay.
And I was like, I want to be back with that girl. My friend was like, here's how to get her back. Firstly, don't call her. Don't text her. Don't look at her stories on anything. Just don't call her. Don't even have to delete her, but just don't call her. In the meantime, when you're not calling her, when you're not texting her, when you're not doing anything, what you should be doing. This is what you should be doing in the meantime. You're doing everything I spoke about. Mm-hmm. Go to gym. The pent-up energy, use it for gym. The pent-up energy, use it to be the best possible you can be professionally. You can be interesting. Do stuff. Pick up a hobby. Go. Yeah. If you're into cars, let that be a thing. So if and when the round 2 comes, when she sees you again, the person you want back, they see a more interesting human. Yeah. And here's what will blow your mind. And my friend told me to do all these things, and I took her advice, and them knowing full well that I won't want her back. Yeah. Because now I've evolved myself beyond what she left. Yes. And what she left was good enough for her. What she found the second time is too good for her. Yeah, it's true. So take the time, gents, ladies as well. Take the time. Yeah. Especially when you're alone. That's what it's for. Yeah. That's what singlehood is for. That's what it's about.
To reinvent yourself.
Reinvent yourself to whatever you want. Yeah. Be the inventor. And you got to have a good time. So by the time you get into something, it's this dope thing. Because like you're now in control of who you want to attract, and you mindful of the kind of person you want to attract. You know what I mean? So just
I love
that. That's all it is.
No, I love that, man. It's we're gonna clip that, man. It's gonna be a promo. Yeah, no, man. I appreciate you, Muzi, man. I appreciate you coming through, and
it's a pleasure, man.
Obviously, like there's a lot of Chris picking up out as well, but I think just because of time as well, maybe we'll bring you back again as well. But I appreciate you, and hopefully the people who are watching, hopefully they got some good game. Muzi said a lot, and I think it was very practical advice which people should take and stuff like that. And yeah, man, catch us on the next episode, guys. Love you a lot. Subscribe and like and share.